Welcome back to Growth Stack Live, where we unpack what's actually working right now for service-based business owners scaling in the AI economy. This isn't theory, it's the real patterns we're seeing from inside the Growth Stack each week. Last week, I was in Miami hosting my monthly mastermind. I've been running this group for almost 20 years, and every month, the room tends to find its own theme. This time, it was obvious, the speed of AI. Every conversation kept circling back to the same thing, though how fast it's moving, how much there is to process, and what actually matters versus what's just noise. And these are sharp operators, people running real businesses, doing real revenue. But what stood out wasn't who had the most tools, it was who had the most clarity. The businesses growing the fastest weren't the ones chasing everything new. They were the ones who were crystal clear on who they are, who they serve, and why they're different. Positioning. Still the foundation, always the foundation. That's what this week's issue is about. It's called The Positioning Problem, the danger of sounding exactly like your competitors. And here's the reality most people don't say out loud. A lot of great businesses are losing deals they should be winning because they sound exactly like everyone else. Try this. Open 5 websites in your industry. You'll see the same language. Results-driven, tailored solutions, committed to your success. Then open yours. Different words, same message. That's the positioning problem, and it's happening because we're in what I call the sea of sameness. Today, anyone can look credible. AI-generated copy, clean templates, polished branding, the surface-level stuff, websites, decks, proposals that used to differentiate you is now just table stakes. So if everyone looks good and everyone sounds good, no one stands out. And when that happens, the buyer defaults to price. Now, if you're not already getting the Growth Stack in your inbox, the link's down below. Every Thursday, we send you a deep breakdown like this, plus 3 curated reads on business growth, wealth, and peak performance. Plus our implementation blueprint, where strategy meets action with simple steps to apply what you just learned. This problem doesn't come from being a bad operator, it comes from being a busy one. You're focused on clients, delivery, results, improving your systems, and positioning becomes something you'll clean up later. Later never comes. So the business that actually produces better outcomes ends up sounding identical to the one that doesn't, and the prospect can't tell the difference, so they choose based on price or familiarity or speed, and you lose deals without ever knowing why. Now here's the shift that changes everything. Positioning isn't about better wording, it's about sharper thinking. There are 3 real shifts here. First, from category to category of one. If you say we're a marketing agency, you're instantly comparable. If you say we build outbound sales systems for 7-figure service businesses, now you're specific and harder to compare. Second, from credentials to conviction. Everyone has experience. Everyone has a process. What separates you is your point of view. What do you believe about your industry that most people get wrong? That belief becomes your edge. And third, from what you do to who you serve. The more specific you are about your client, the more your message actually lands. Not entrepreneurs, not business owners, a very specific person with a very specific problem. Because specificity creates connection, vagueness creates noise, and this is where the leverage shows up. When your positioning is strong, you don't have to over-explain, you don't compete on price, you attract better fit clients, and your sales conversations start halfway closed. I've seen businesses double their close rates without changing their offer at all, just by tightening how they position it. Same service, different perception, better outcomes. So here's the bottom line. In a world where AI makes it easy for everyone to look polished overnight, that's no longer your advantage. Your advantage is your clarity, your point of view, your specificity, and how clearly you communicate why you're different. So I'll leave you with this. If the right client landed on your page today, would they instantly know why you're the one, or would you sound like everyone else? Let me know where you're at, and I'll see you next week.